Senator Natasha Uduagon, 6 children, 6 different fathers. And so the F what?
As follows. 1. That the Senate do suspend Senator Natasha Uduagon for 6 months for her total violation of the Senate Standing Rules 2023 as amended for bringing the president, the presiding officer, and the entire Senate in general to public opprobrium. 2. That for the Senate to consider lifting the suspension or to reduce the tenure of suspension, Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan shall submit a written apology to the Senate before the reconsideration by the Senate. 3. That the Senate do suspend Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan with effect from 6 March 2025 from all legislative activities forthwith. 4. That her office be locked up for the duration of her suspension and hand over all Senate properties in her possession to the clerk of the National Assembly. 5. That for the duration of her suspension, she cannot come or be seen within the vicinity of the National Assembly, including her staff. 6. That her salaries and allowances, including those of her legislative aides, be suspended and withdraw of all security details for the duration of her suspension. And 7. That for the period of her suspension, she be barred from representing herself to the public, locally and internationally, as a Senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Now, that's the voice of Senator Neda Imaseun, the chairman of the Senate Committee on Ethics and Public Petitions, against a recent petition on Senate President Godswill Akpabio. Hello everyone, you're so much welcome. I decided to add this bit because it's just dropping now. It's actually happening in the National Assembly, and it was done, I think, about 15-20 minutes ago, as at the time of this podcast. Now let's go into what has been happening to Madam Natasha in the last few weeks. Of course, you're in the know, except you've not been in the news, where Senator Natasha has been having unending battles with the Senate president. And this time around, she decided to go on Arise News after her insistence at a Senate sitting. We pay Oga, Senate President Godswill Akpabio, let me speak and stand on Section 10 of our rules, which was not granted, and the Senate President said she should be taken out of the Senate chambers. Now, when she went on Arise News, please take your time to toggle on YouTube, where you see a comprehensive, explosive interview where she spoke her mind about the fact that all these things we are seeing between her and Uncle Godswill of Akwa Ibom is because she refused to laga, because Uncle wants to logo. So, now let's get into it. Some people said that she has done that in the case of Reno, right? And at the point she removed the post. For whatever reason she decided to remove the post, we do not know. And she hasn't spoken about it till date. And people are quoting that to be like, Natasha sometimes could be dramatic. Now, let's put that aside until she speaks on it again. Now, the fact that maybe she has not spoken the truth on that one doesn't invalidate this present one. One thing Akpabio has is that for a number 3 man in Nigeria, Babakari, Babak Bedani gidi gan, Babak Bedani badly gone. And for him, when an African man is in that position, ẹran tó bá hùn pòun fẹ́ jẹ, ó believe pé kò sí nǹkan tóun ò lè fi lọ obìnrin. And within that context of the Senate, let's come down a bit. If you're a beautiful woman, when I mean beautiful woman, if you're a woman who, when you enter a place, you're pleasing to the eyes, if you're a woman who, you're educated, you can speak well, you're certified, you know your onions, you know, you're pleasing to the eyes, you will understand as an African woman, what did I say? Because your beauty enough. Some people will absolutely love it. Those with good heart, those who are even good in their faces, good in their hearts, We appreciate beauty and never destroy beauty. But ṣe ara àwọn onínúdúdú ọlọ́kàn jóná. Ìfá àpò fáìn lásán yẹn. Pìtìpìtì ayé ti bá wọn. They just start hating you for no reason. Now when it comes to the opposite sex, from when you are in secondary school as a beautiful girl, to when you're in the university, to when you're working as an employee, or when you have your own business and you need to chase contracts, wàá fẹ́ la. Wàá ṣe kíni? Wàá fẹ́ la. You will get to a point that you'll be told expressly, play ball or no deal. A lot of women have succumbed to that playing of ball, and it's not something they're happy doing. This discussion is for mature minds, please. They will have done it to a point that even in the corners of their room, weeks, months, years later, they still feel dirty for what they've done. Some women forgive themselves and be like, well, I had to do what I got to do. But it doesn't make them proud of what they've done. So the more beautiful you are as a woman, the more your problems. Now, let me pick what I picked, and which is the cocoa of this discussion. It says, some people have been commenting, saying, Senator Natasha has 6 children for 6 different men. And so the F what? What does that have to do with what is going on that she asked to laga for a motion to be passed in the Senate, which is the allegation against Senate President? What does that have to do with the deputy, whatever, to back in the house, deputy whip, to support Natasha, and my washer, to show ara, exposing that kinikon seductively, working seductively, kinikon. What does that have to do? Remember the comment Senator Akpabio saw last year when Jusova gave him Gbasgbos, that when he said, and this is not a nightclub. There was nothing that woman was wearing that depicts a nightclub. In fact, Natasha covers herself to the point of her not even covering her destiny. You can rarely see her hand. She wears on India, she man wore kilon poruko yen ẹran mi létí tó máa ro mọ́ra yẹn. Ó máa tún borí. She's not a Muslim. Ó tún máa bo irun ẹ̀. Maybe she just discovered that, okay, let me just hide my body. A lot of we women go through that, but we don't talk. That even if the husbands don't be more the amount of pressure we face outside from their so-called uncles, their so-called bosses, their so-called mentors that want to laga with us, ta le so sita. Because ọkùnrin ò rínú gbọ́rọ̀ sí. I'm telling you, when it comes to their wives, a man is a lion. They don't want to even hear that. You see, flash lásán ọ̀ràn dé. And some men are not even mature about it. Instead of them to now address the issue, on my hunt, because some of our men are chicken brain. With apologies to real men, no, so if Natasha has 6 different children for 6 different men, what does that got to do with the Senate? Okay, I think I would rather applaud her for having 6 children if it's true, allegedly. If she truly has 6 different children for 6 different men, oh my God, she's a goddess. Oh my God, she's a goddess. That means that she has gotten to a point of, until I get what I want, I keep moving. You men are quick to always rubbish women. Okay, all those 6 children that she has, show no fun alone you lot 6 different children. Because it's easy to cast their aspersion on the woman. And the women that chose to give birth to children, they are the ones that are shamed. Àwọn tó in quotes tó sharp láti yọyún po. Àwọn yẹn ni good girl àbí ẹ̀san lórí. And people don't think deep. Their thinking faculty is very light. So you're telling me that the good girls that decide to say, okay, I'm pregnant, I'm owning my shit, I'm going to have the child and take care of my child. So inyele mama abu as a society, whereas the one don't yo pu. Any good woman. The hypocrisy we have in our country is stinking to the high heavens. If Natasha truly has 6 children, different children for 6 different men, For her to now be in opposition to Emmanuel Edoahan, for the man to say, baby girl, beautiful princess, lovely woman, trained lawyer, I want you not just as my lover, I want to marry you. Don't ṣerú elaborate mẹ́rin yẹn fún ẹgbẹ́ fún Natasha. Ẹgbẹ́ fún. She has taken time to get educated, to be exposed, to be so enlightened, and to be a pleasing sight, even to the strongest of men. Ẹgbẹ́ fún. Whether it's well, she's normal, as in normal figure lóní, kò ṣe pé bóyá lọ ṣe nǹkan kan ṣe nǹkan kan, bó tiẹ̀ ṣe nǹkan kan kọ́. Her skin is dazzling and with minimal makeup. Baby girl. In fact, even if you have 100 children for 100 men, it has got nothing to do with what you're doing in the Senate. And that is the crux of this podcast. Let us stop this nonsense of bringing people's personal issues on when it comes to serious-minded discussions. And we women will continue to be sidelined if we have just 4 female senators out of the 109 senators in Nigeria. So we are now talking about àwọn kan tó ń lé ìyàwó wọn kúrò nílé, àwọn ìyàwó tó ń lọ́kọ wọn kúrò nílé, àwọn ọmọ tí bàbá wọn jẹ́ deadbeat, tó ń dọmọ sọ́lọ́ ọmọ kíní kan láyà, tó ń ṣe kíní kan. Who is going to pass the bill? Who is going to speak? Ṣé voices mẹ́rin? Out of the 4 senators, Natasha is one. We have 3 other ones. Those 3 ones, I think I've heard about 2 speak. They are against Natasha. I was utterly disappointed when Mama Bakassi, Senator Florence Itagiwa, had to open her mouth and say at the Arise News that Natasha as a senator has passed the stage where any man can harass her. I'm like, are you joking? Even if a woman sits as the president of the country, it doesn't mean that tó bá wà lágbo àwọn presidents tó jókòó sórí a long table of different countries pé wọ́n ní hit on her. Because as a human being, wherever you're functioning, you always have some people that you have to interact with, you have to do deals with, you have to seal some things with. So that talk, Mama Bakassi, was quite disappointing. Even Mama Retiki Gibe, that was not what we expected you to say. What you should tell Natasha is, Natasha, make sure this allegation, you are a lawyer yourself, so you know. And you know the implication of these things if your allegations are false. Make sure you have your evidence together. Because Olifa is number 3 man, Kumal evidence. So she has brought a petition yesterday to the House and it has been collected. But the question people are asking is, yes, the Senate President said petition wants to be found Committee on Ethics. But in a Senate climb, you can't really preside over your own case. I want to back her Lord. I understand what I'm saying. Is either you step aside so that there can be a level playing ground. So all this talk of Omomefa is crap. Omomefa. Tóbìnrin mi ń sunkún tóun tí rẹ̀ yọkan bí. Do you think Omomefa ti tiẹ̀ òun bẹ̀yàn ṣé ó jọ Omomefa ti Ìkòròdú? Mi fi yọ̀ wọ́n wá fi ń sọ̀rọ̀ ni o. Tó ń ké pọ́kọ wọn ò wálé pé bí ń pa àwọn péyàn kan gba òun lọ́kọ. Irú Natasha yìí tó bá lọ́kọ tó bá lórí ẹ̀fẹ́ yìí ó máa páàkì wọn àtàwọn ọmọ ẹ̀ ní ó ti move on. Ẹni tó mọ lọ ojú abo. You think this is the era where women are doing zegezege zolozolo? Ìwọ tó bá ṣe zẹ̀gẹ̀lẹ̀ jókòó sẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ kan bẹ̀ àwa ta fẹ́ move síwájú. So that is not part of it at all. If you, Natasha, have 100 children, you are not begging anybody. You are still hot. You are hot. Ṣé yẹ ló bímọ fún ni àbólógbò? Àwọn ọlọ́fọmọbú ni ìsọnù. If you are a woman, you have your capacity, you have your capability, you have children that you can cater for, go ahead with it. Nǹkan tọkùnrin ò lè run tóbìnrin bá ń run ẹ wá máa mórí ẹ máa là mọ́lẹ̀. So please, let's stop bringing this issue of children for different men. And so, does she look it? Even you that you are saying you be more méjì, tó lè dúró sẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ Natasha kọ́kọ́ mú ẹ. Can you speak the way she speak? Do you have the clout? Look at how she fought to get her mandate. Can you do that? Even come up with estate meeting lásán gan o lè give submission to work to make sense. Máa búyàn. Please leave Natasha alone. If she likes, she should have 100 children for 100 men. She's not here to play. What I would just advise her to do is ensure your evidence are intact. So whenever they need it, I know for her to come on that Arise News, ó ṣèrà díẹ̀ ni. Tó bá fẹ́ lahùn tán, everywhere must scatter. Bóyá recording lóní ni o, she's a lawyer. But let us watch. But this talk of Kemafi and 6 different children for different show wa tọrọ owó lọ́wọ́ yín ni àbóníkẹ́ some school fees ọmọ. Let's stop it. Ire o.